Pickaxe.
5-day early access to every Cast Party episode, including Nocturne. Ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes info, exclusive bonus monthly one-shots, access to our community Discord where our community plays D&D games together, has game nights, and hosts so much more, all for less than the price of a single cup of coffee per month. Aren't convinced? Try out a free trial. 7 days free to check out the content that we offer only exclusively on our Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. Support your favorite D&D podcast, all while getting some awesome perks. Patreon.com/castparty. See you there, cast and crew.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cast Party. My name is Colin McManus, and I will be your director for today. I'm joined by Ryan McManus.
Hi, Ryan McManus playing Bjorg Jorgensen, the Jewel of Debauchery.
Anna Brisbane.
Hi, Anna Brisbane playing Lenore Devere Chaos, very excited to push all the buttons.
Nigel Deacon.
Hiya, I'm Nigel playing Jackal Campman, the Leprin loner striving for companionship and control.
Vince Perino.
Hi, Vince Perino. I'm playing Tevin Alkin, Mechanism of Discovery, reconstructing memories by trying to shoot everything in the face.
Raquel Skellington.
Hi everybody, I'm Raquel, and I am playing Poppy, the tender-hearted giant.
And Luis Scarazzo.
Hey everybody, I'm playing Santos, the glaive-wielding Glavinator.
Keep it forever, please.
Let's talk about what happened last time. Last time, you began to leave the farm where you retrieved the mechanism that was inside this object that fell from Ilos's orbital. Before getting too far, you decided to turn back to follow the compass Lenore had found on the farmer. You determined it was pointing to the yeast and wine bottles. Determined to get more information about what happened here, Santos decided to dig up a grave. This woman's body he uncovered was less human than he expected and had unnatural changes. Elongated limbs and a fanged mouth with this unhinged jaw. You all left this farm to return to the coach, knowing you had more information to bring to Carmina. It began to get dark on your way back. Even with Tevin's light illuminating the immediate surroundings, Jack was unable to find the way back to the coach. You decided to sleep the night in a small clearing by a brook. At night, Bjorg set an alarm, and the rest of you slept, while Jack took first watch to keep an eye on the encampment. Tevin once again dreamt of this building. This time, there were wind chimes hanging from another smaller building nearby. He tried to open the door, but it was still stuck closed. A fog rolled in and startled Tevin awake. Jack and Tevin stayed up looking for signs of danger, though Bjorg was the one tossing in his dreams, and a few hours after this fog rolled in, he dreamt of a family in Twin Rivers. A young child running down the street, being chased by a maddened deer. As she fell, the father threw a pitchfork at Bjorg's head and scared him awake, just as his alarm went off. In the morning, Bjorg saw a single footprint near where his head was lying. The rest of you joined up in the morning and headed towards where Jack believed this coach to be. You found the coach, dropped off the mechanism, and got inside. Jack grabbed a feather from this open box and, when knocking to the driver, put the feather into a small hatch. He was given a note that said A17 tonight. He tossed the note to the ground before entering. Now Jack takes his place in the cart and the coach continues backwards towards Twin Rivers. It is early in the morning still. Jack especially, but also Tevin are a bit tired from their lack of sleep last night. And so the scene is set. Question is, what will you do next?
How's everyone doing?
I'm exhausted, Jack. We're leaving early enough where we might be back to Twin Rivers with a few moments of sun to spare, but hope you all are ready for another long ride. I was up all last night waiting for you folks, so I'm gonna get some rest if that's all right with you.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry to keep you up.
And he turns over in his seat best he can and gets comfortable.
Okay, good night, or good day, good morning.
How was he so sleepy when all he had to do was sit here and watch a fucking cart? We're the ones risking our lives out in the fucking wilds, and here we are, alive. But I could go for another few hours.
You don't have to do anything to be tired if you're up all night. I didn't do a lot last night, and I'm pretty tired.
Just a little ironic, I guess.
Well, I feel like there may be some rabbit-sized elephants in the room.
Yeah.
I need to know, did I hurt anyone?
Almost. Poppy cocks an eyebrow. But I dodged.
She was quick with it.
Anyone else?
Negative.
Kind of the opposite. You saved me.
All right, that's good. Again, I'm glad I saved you, but I'm sorry for doing that to you all. I know I was supposed to be the guiding force for this trip to make sure you were all safe, and I feel like I ended up doing the opposite, kind of. And I'm sorry I didn't tell any of you about that, but it's been a long time since anything like that has happened, and I didn't expect it to.
How long?
Maybe 2 years, give or take, I think.
Did it happen a lot before?
There wasn't a lot before 2 years ago, so I don't know.
Why does this type of change occur?
Your guess is as good as mine, buddy.
Santos has been scribbling in his notebook and stops for a moment as this conversation continues, looks up at you, Jackal. I want to hear what you think happened. I want you to tell us in your own words.
Well, we were, in the fray. I saw Lenore get knocked out, and I got really mad. Then I was on Tevin's shoulders. I can feel the lingering effects of being like that. I don't know what it looks like, but I've got full body soreness. Like it feels like I just did an all day hunt. But I don't know what happens in there. I just know that usually when I wake up, there's a lot more bodies.
A lot more?
At least that's what I was told.
What's happened with you before?
I was found with carnage around me a little bit. I don't know if it was... I don't know a lot of the details.
I start banging on the front. Stop the cart. Stop it right now. And I turn to Jackal. If you're going to start confessing stuff that I don't need to know, then I don't want to be here for that.
Easy.
Jackal, was it outside of city walls?
I reach out with both hands to kind of calm Santos. There's nothing that you don't need to know that Nightshade doesn't already know. It happened outside of the walls.
Outside of city jurisdiction.
It's the only time it's ever happened.
Are you sure? You know that I'm going to have to report back, and if they demand that I tell them everything that I observed, I don't know if I'll be able to withhold things that need to be withheld. And I don't want to incriminate you. If you're confessing to something that they don't know and shouldn't know, then I don't want to hear it.
Jackal, looks you very seriously in the eyes. I'm not going to make you say anything or not say anything that you don't want to do. None of this is your fault. You don't need to protect me. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. It'll be okay.
All right. I relax for a moment. My nose back into my notebook, scribbling some notes.
You start to hear rain. There's no lightning or thunder or anything, but the rain starts, and as you guys continue, it starts to get more heavy and echo through the coach.
Well, I'm sorry to have startled you, Santos. I
just don't want to. I don't want to get in a position where I need to get you in trouble. That's the last thing I want to do. I won't do it.
I appreciate it. I really do. This is a thing that I live with. It's been a long time. I didn't expect it. You guys never could have known, because I barely know about it myself.
Well, at least now we know that can come out again.
You all are speaking like there's the opportunity for this to happen again. I thought this was a one-and-done thing. We go out in the city walls, we experience what we did, we get back into town, and then we go about our separate ways. I know I said we're all connected and we have to figure this out, as he raises his fist and shows you all the S. But that doesn't include fighting, at least I thought.
Well, you don't have to fight, Bjorg, if you don't want to. We can try and figure this out. We didn't expect to have any fights at all coming out here. But fights happen.
I suppose you're right. I was just under the assumption that we wouldn't get ourselves into another precarious situation where Lenore might die again after we get back inside Twin Rivers.
Do you know how we can calm you down if that happens again?
I wish I did. I don't know even how I got out of it this time.
Is there anything that you would like us to do? the next time it happens.
Protect yourselves. Get away or take me down.
I don't want to have to karate chop you, buddy.
What's your favorite song?
What the hell did I say in the BTS last week?
Oh, we literally answered this question.
Yeah.
I don't know where this name is coming from, but Down Under?
Down Under? I come from the land down under. That one? I don't know how it goes.
I guess. That sounds as plausible as anything else. I don't know. I don't know the names of the songs that the bards play downtown. It's just, but that phrase comes to mind.
You don't have it on, like, something you can play.
Oh, if someone can play it, I might be able to store it somehow.
Or if you could teach us how to sing it.
Also that. I'm not much of a singer, but
You think that's good enough to calm you down?
that doesn't seem very calming to me.
Hey!
Let's just hope we don't have to try. Like I said, I barely know about this experience. It hasn't happened for a long time. When it did happen, I wasn't in it when they found me. So it's you've seen more than probably anyone.
Do you know if you killed bad guys or good guys?
No, I don't know.
Do you think one day you may find the memories of what you've done?
I don't know if I want those ones. They seem kind of gruesome. I don't want anyone to feel compromised by this or feel like they're in a difficult situation. If you're not comfortable with me, that's okay. I'm not going to be hurt. We got brought together because of this thing. And he raises his hand. That doesn't mean that you guys have to trust me just because of it.
Oh no, I got it. If you ever go mad like that again, I'll make you tiny like I did that cow.
That works.
That was beneficial.
Well, it still hurt.
I wouldn't know. Bjork is just in his lap, tinkering and messing with jewelry. Isn't even looking up. It's just remarks are flying out and he can't stop them.
What did you guys do this time?
Well, Poppy sideways glances. I almost knocked you out.
But did you?
No, it was sound that got you from, Bjork.
Oh.
Bjorg stops fiddling with this wire that's wrapping around a gem. He's trying to get it just right. Hearing his name, he perks up, and he goes to reach for the suit jacket pocket, but halts himself. Yes, it was a loud gunshot.
Okay. Maybe that'll work again.
I think that one is out of the question.
Yeah, you weren't the only one affected by it. Poppy glances over to Santos.
Santos is ignoring this entire conversation as best as he can.
I can make a loud thunderclap.
That might be a little better.
Well, as much as I would love to keep this pleasant chatter going, I have some things that I think we need to cover before we get back. I have no doubt that we're each going to be questioned. They're going to want to know what we saw. I know they're curious about the fact that we were left conscious during the event, which is why they chose us. I just want to take a moment to see if there's a way to get our story straight.
Well, is there anything we need to hide?
Well, I think that the more thorough we show them we were, the better things will be for us. I don't know what's in store for us. I have a lot of questions, and I've been thinking a lot about what happened to us the other day, why we stayed awake when everybody else wasn't, why they wanted me to seek out the others that were awake. There's more happening here. I just, I don't know. I don't trust them. That's it. I don't trust them. I feel anxious going back and talking to Nightshade. I just have this bad feeling in the pit of my stomach that we don't know what we're in for. I am glad that you all pulled it together and that we were able to look out for each other, and I'm happy to learn more about you and whatever it is that you have going on. More than anything, I'm glad that you gave us permission to knock your ass out if you try to pull that on us again, because I don't know if a loud bang or thunder is going to work. I don't know. What I'm trying to rack my brain about is, why would a family live out there without the protection against the resonance the way that they did? Why would they even seek to embrace it, harvest it, and meticulously consume it. That's peculiar to me. Is that not to you?
I can chime in on only one part of that. I think being outside the walls has a lot of perks. When you're in the city, if you don't have the money to pay for a place to live or pay for food, you end up living where I do, under a bridge. I'm on the river. Everything that I have, I've scrapped together. But when I'm outside the walls, I am free. I can do whatever I want. I can eat as much as I like, as much as I can hunt. I have the skills for that, but not everyone does. But maybe they have skills for farming, and they can get the land for it out here. I don't know if that's enough to justify being out here, but I can at least see the merit in it. For what it's worth, this is just my 2 copper on the subject. We don't need to tell them anything if it's going to be confusing, because we're coming back with a lot of stuff that they didn't ask for. They wanted us to pick up that thing. That's all they asked us. They didn't ask us to figure out what was going on with the house. They didn't ask us to do any investigative work. We can tell them we found a house. We found it was kind of weird, but we found the thing. Maybe we had a scuffle with some resident stuff, or even just leave that out. Yeah, I'm not saying don't tell them anything if that's what you're comfortable with, but it might make it a lot simpler if we just say, here's the thing. There's weird stuff out there. Maybe go check it out yourselves.
Santos is just holds for a moment, thinks on what you said, takes a note, returns to sitting there in silence.
I don't know how long they were out there or how long this resonance thing has even been a problem, but I know that they think that the wine kept them safe.
It's so sad. Listen, anyone could have their reasons for wanting to live in a way outside of the city, outside of this, Poppy shrugs, outside of the system. I basically live on the outskirts, and sometimes life is just more peaceful. It's just more quiet. I can assume that sometimes if you just want to raise a family with a little bit more freedom, I don't know. I think that's the last thing we should be judging.
And I don't see a downside to telling those guys everything. What worry is there of just telling them, here's what happened? Straightforward. Weird, but straightforward.
Agree.
Yes, I suppose if all of us happen to be brought in for questioning, it's easier to just give them everything. If we try to lie and then something goes wrong, one of us gets a fact mixed up or something. If our stories don't line up, it's just going to be more of a headache. None of this that we found reflects us. We did what we were told to do.
Exactly.
We found some extra things, some extra info, and maybe they can use that to their advantage. We might as well just give everything up. I don't think there's anything we need to hide.
I do agree, actually.
Okay. If we tell them all of that, then we might get asked to do all of this again.
Oh, that's a good point.
If you guys are fine with that, if you guys are cool with going back out here.
I mean, it was kind of fun.
You getting swallowed by that thing and almost dying was fun?
Well, not that 12 seconds was not as fun, but the rest of it, I've never seen anything like that before, ever.
We all did seem to experience some new things out there, and it seems as if we could benefit from it in the future. Not just me, but all of us.
I've learned that I'm rusty with my boomerang.
A boomerang's such a funny choice.
I like it.
Who taught you how to throw a boomerang?
I used to throw them all the time as a kid. I don't know, I always thought great adventurers had boomerangs.
What's the trick? How do you make it come back to you?
You gotta have to, flick it with the wrist a little bit, but I don't have a lot of time to practice it on the farm, but I used to throw them all the time as a hobby as a kid, so I thought, well, I'm big now, so I'll throw a bigger one.
Yeah, it's like as big as me.
Speaking of your incredibly small size, Lenore, here. He hands you the teeny tiniest little earrings. This is because you almost died, and you requested it earlier. I wasn't gonna do it, but then you almost died, so...
You weren't gonna do it?
Why would I waste things on you, Lenore? We just met.
'Cause we're friends!
We'll get there. But, weird choice that you chose amethyst, but here. They are amethyst earrings. Amethyst symbolize health and beauty and clarity.
Wow.
It is in a beautiful little trilliant cut. It's like a 3D triangle, if you will. There are silver tree branch-like wires that cradle the gem in each one. It's to symbolize your chaotic nature, because you never know where the branches are gonna go. So there.
I love them. I'm putting them on. Are they magic?
Absolutely not. And he goes back into working on fixing Corvus after he finishes that.
Actually, Bjorg, how did you learn to do that?
Which one?
Make jewelry.
Rich people like jewelry.
Okay. Fair point. Good answer.
She didn't ask why, she asked how.
Rich people like jewelry. I woke up next to this cart. There was jewelry supplies in it. So I went about it. I assume that's how I made money.
Wait, it's not your cart? You woke up next to a cart?
Well, I woke up next to a cart with the name Bjorg on it, and I am Bjorg.
Oh,
I think.
you think?
Well, I woke up next to a cart named Bjorg.
What if the cart's name is Bjorg?
Why would the cart have a last name? It says Bjorg Jorgensen.
Why not?
Have you ever named something with a last name, Lenore?
Yes.
Explain.
I had a Furby, and his name was Johann Sebastian Bach.
That's a lot of names for a small little
Furby.
Furby?
Yeah.
Is that like Corvus?
It has a beak.
I'll take it.
What if it's two first names?
Well, sometimes a second first name is a last name. So sure.
Huh?
When? I'm saying Bjorg Jorgensen is the first name. It's like it would be hyphenated. Like Sally Mae
Okay.
or something.
No, they were on separate lines. It was. You've seen my cart.
So you don't even know your real name.
It's Bjorg. It's on the cart.
You're assuming.
She's right.
What else would it be?
I don't know. You're just going with the first thing you saw and said, that's me.
It's my cart.
You could have woken up next to Ben and Jerry's.
Then I would be Ben and Jerry at the same time.
Right.
Two first names.
Because it only makes sense. I wake up next to my belongings. Of course, I'm Bjorg Jorgensen.
How do you know they were yours?
Why would I wake up next to them if they weren't mine?
I woke up next to a tree. Do you think that tree was mine?
It could have been. Did you pee on it?
Did you lick it?
Two different things. Don't do them at the same time.
So, Santos, how was your first time outside of the walls? I know you were looking forward to that.
I was, wasn't I? He looks back at you actually with a different expression on his face. You're right. I got exactly what I wanted. Guess it was exciting.
I'm sorry it wasn't the trip I had hoped to take you on. I'm glad that you came out mostly unscathed. If not totally. I don't know if you got hurt.
He raises his arms and kind of presents them to you in a way, like as he looks and rotates his arms. Nope, totally unscathed.
Good. You want to do it again?
You know what? I think I do.
You do?
Jack had the weakest smile when he asked you that, and when you said that, it kind of like becomes like a real smile.
With all of us?
I think maybe a conversation will need to be had for us to all cover our bases a little bit better, but so far, we seem to be doing well as a group, considering.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Well, I'll tell you this right now, Lenore, as long as maybe you can be more careful, and maybe you respect us and our many, many ways that we've been trying to look out for you, instead of doing exactly the opposite of what we ask you to do and get yourself into more trouble.
What did you tell me to do that I did the opposite?
I said to stay close to us. For one thing, Poppy, I immediately lock eyes with Poppy. I think at this point in the day and a half, 2 days, we've got a list. And I, for whatever reason, don't even care. I'm just glad you're okay. But please, this isn't a game. This is real. And you could die. Again. You almost did.
You almost did.
Okay, but then what?
What do you mean?
Then you die. What do you mean? What kind of question is that?
I'll wake up somewhere else, right?
Well, it depends on what you believe.
Do you think you died before you came here?
I assume so.
Did we not all?
Wait,
I don't
huh?
know.
I don't think so.
I don't think I did.
I didn't.
Well, whoever wasn't Bjorg might have, but Bjorg didn't.
I mean, you might not be Bjorg. You just made an assumption.
Maybe the real Bjorg is dead and I'm an imposter.
I knew it. You were tricky from the start.
I'm kidding!
No insight check needed from Santos. He's just going to go ahead and go out on a limb and just kick Bjorg in the shin, but not too hard.
Ow.
Something tells me you kind of like it when people give you a little shit.
I like to give it back, that's all.
Well, you just completely brought the conversation of the group right back to giving you shit, so something tells me that you like it.
Sorry, back to Tevin dying and Lenore being reincarnated. Let's go back to that conversation, shall we?
And then I kick him again in the shin, but softer than the time before.
Wait, Lenore. You seriously think you died before you came here?
That's the last thing I remember.
Is death?
I mean, I don't remember the act of dying, but I was in pretty dire straits.
What does dying feel like?
I was just about to ask.
Why were you dying?
I don't know. I lost consciousness and then I gained consciousness in a fountain.
With somebody trying to drown you.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Lenore?
I look at my arms and...
No. I mean, like, emotionally. Like, are you, now that you're here, do you still feel like you're in dire straits?
No one's actively killing me at the moment.
Was someone actively killing you?
I mean, it was water.
Oh, when you were here.
No, on Earth.
Huh?
On what you call Earth, what happened there? What was trying to kill you?
I fell in the water. And I was drowning.
Did somebody push you?
I fell.
So, water in a sense killed you, but also brought you to life.
Maybe. And we're all made of water, right? I mean, I guess I don't know what fairies are made out of, but I assume it's pretty similar.
He's literally made of metal.
Well, maybe not Tevin. Maybe you're not. How about, do you have like a water cooling system or anything?
I'm gonna hold up my arm and then one of my legs poke at the little tubes.
Yeah, is that water? What is that?
I've also been curious about that liquid.
It flows as if it is water. No?
Not all liquid is water.
I think it might be your blood.
Oh, don't say that, please.
Well, you know, it circulates throughout his system and keeps him alive, kind of thing.
Blood is mostly water, right?
I don't know what blood is. Devin, you said you died too. How did you die?
I do not remember dying. I just remember waking. I thought we all died, and we woke up together. But I am learning different.
Just me and you?
It seems to be. There are no other memories in my head.
Yeah.
I only have memories from about 2 years ago. I do remember a childhood, but there's just a big gap. And Jack, you said something similar, I think. Or you don't remember anything past 2 years ago?
It's blank. As far as I know, I've only been alive for 2 years, but after the explosion, there's other memories or thoughts, I guess, that are just leaking in. The down under thing, the prison cell, like all that stuff.
Bjorg twists Corvus's head fully on, and you hear him beep boop and start waking again. And that's funny, that's when I woke up next to my cot.
2 years ago?
You guys only have memories for 2 years?
Roughly. I just assumed it was amnesia.
I have a childhood that I remember, teenage years that I remember, and then I assumed that I got wounded somehow out here, and then the Nightshade Company found me, and that's what my last 2 years has been.
Huh.
You don't know what wounded you?
No. I mean, I figured it was just a big bump on the head or something, but they found me on the side of the road, and then they took me in, and that was the beginning of what this life has been like. And I owe them a great deal, but I can't help but feel like there's something else going on, like I've said it 100 times. But I have a childhood. I remember it. It was good. I grew up not far from here, in a homestead not that different from where we just came from. My parents are great, and I had siblings, and we had animals, and I remember seeing the night sky, and I remember feeling safe.
Can we go there?
We can. I know where to go. I remember the way.
Okay.
Is that why you wanted to leave the walls so bad?
You know what? It wasn't actually the thing that was on my mind at all. I was just getting bored, you know? I was a gate guard. And I was just getting bored and restless, and I kind of envied those that were able to see the world. And I just started to wonder about what the world outside was like. And I just wanted to see it for myself.
We should try to find your family.
That would be nice.
So, when you say that you have a childhood and you've got memories of being a kid, and then you kind of like became conscious 2 years ago? Or is there just that gap between being a child and your current age, which I don't know what that is in your lifespan?
You mean a tieflings? I mean, it's not that different from some of us here. Well, Bjorgs. Here's the question, is which one of us do you think looks older, me or Bjorg?
That's a terrible thing to go about.
Bjorg.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
I think so, too.
I'll point my finger at Bjork. He looks much more ancient.
Oh my god, it's okay.
Damn.
Thank you, Tevin.
Santos runs his hands through his stark white hair. I don't know how old I am, actually.
I guess you wouldn't.
I don't think I'm too old, but I don't feel very young either.
If we find your family, we can ask your birthday. Wait, you know your birthday?
I don't. I just guess, and then I just keep celebrating it for many days. It doesn't even make me feel bad. Like, it's weird, the things that you don't remember that you feel like are not that important. I don't feel bad not knowing exactly when my birthday was. It's just another day.
How do you know your star sign? I think you're a Sagittarius.
I haven't heard of that one. Where's their satellite?
Is that your god?
No, it's a constellation.
What is this constellation meant to depict?
I think it's a centaur with like a bow and arrow.
Oh, you mean the Archer?
Yeah?
The Archer is a constellation here.
That's you. I decided.
What characteristics about Santos makes him a Sagittarius? Or an archer?
You got antsy. You wanted to go explore. That's all I got.
Do somebody else now.
I'm not an expert at this stuff.
I could also be a Sagittarius. I have a bow.
That's too on the nose.
What's Tevin?
Oh yes, if he was born 2 days ago, you know his birthday, so what is he?
Virgo. I'm an Aries.
'Cause you fly? You're in the air?
That makes sense.
And fairy.
no.
It's like short for fairy.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Do you need to sleep, Jack?
Probably. I'm not going to get any rest until we're back.
Wait, who didn't get rest?
Me and Tevin were up all night.
What are you doing talking our ears off? You should rest.
No, I'm anxious. I don't know, I just don't feel right about falling asleep now. I'm not worried about anything happening, but it's just I've got a lot on my mind, you know? Bjork, you looked like you were running in your sleep last night like a puppy or something. Were you dreaming?
My legs were just having at it.
More your arms.
Oh. No, I think the events of the farmhouse just got to me a little bit. I had dreams about the farmer and some deer filled with resonance. I think it was just a mix of emotions that got to me last night, and someone mentioned the pitchfork through one of the corpses, and I had a dream that one of them threw it at me, and then I got spooked and my alarm went off and there was a footprint next to my head. How's everyone else doing this morning?
A weird footprint?
One of ours?
No, this was like a work boot. Large, but only one.
I'm staring right at Bjorg. When were you going to tell us that someone potentially infiltrated our camp?
Right now.
I can definitely confirm there was no infiltration, as I was up all night, keeping watch.
They were on guard and my alarm was set for any being that wasn't us.
Oh.
If it entered the camp, it would have gone off, and that's what woke me up. That's what woke everyone up. I thought it was faulty. And then I saw the footprint and I got a little worried, but Jack and Tevin assured me that nothing came by.
Only 1 foot?
Only one. And they didn't lead anywhere, they didn't go anywhere, it was just one lone footprint.
That's unsettling.
Just a bit.
Who can turn invisible in this place?
Wouldn't you still have a footprint? You're making contact with the earth.
Yeah.
But it was just one footprint.
It's just one. Unless they can fly and maybe the person swooped down and only touched the ground for 1 second and then lifted back off.
Yeah, exactly.
But why would you need boots if you can fly? Oh,
I have shoes.
Lenore has boots and she can fly. Just kidding.
I have boots, and I too can fly.
Yes, you're correct. Don't fucking remind me that everyone can fly.
I can't fly.
Me neither.
We're groundies.
Groundies? I hate that.
We're not Aries. We're groundies, Poppy.
Boo.
I'm both like a little concerned and not that worried about it. The woods are full of weird shit.
Bjorg, I do apologize to have somebody coming that close to you without my knowing. I'll be sure to keep a closer eye next time.
No, I trusted you. I trusted the both of you. I have full promise in your capabilities to keep us safe throughout the night. It's just a weird coincidence. I don't think there was actually someone there. At least I hope not.
Well, there's not much we could do about it now.
Are we gonna ask Nightshade for another mission? Or are we gonna try to go see Santos's childhood home?
Well, I got somebody I gotta check up on before we do anything else.
Who's that?
Poppy kinda actually shifts uncomfortably. Just somebody I care about.
We could invite them.
No, I think they're a little bit too old to be adventuring.
But Bjorg has been here the whole time.
Thank you, Tevin.
He's not even that old. I think sleeping on the street has made his skin look terrible.
What makes you think I sleep on the street?
You woke up next to a cart.
I'm gonna reach over and just, while I'm yelling at you all, I'm gonna just graze Santos's gray hair in my hand and just lay it over. I woke up next to a cart. I sell jewelry so I can make a living, and I stay in taverns every single night. Probably better than something that you stay in every single day, Jack.
Oh.
And then I dropped Santos's hair.
Jack has fallen onto the ground from laughing. I'm sorry, Bjork. I'm sorry. I'm just teasing you.
If you wanted to run your fingers through my hair, you could have just asked.
Noted.
How old are you, Bjorg? I guess you don't know because you just woke up.
I feel like I'm in my 30s, if that helps.
Did you wake up with a sore back?
Probably. I was in an alleyway.
I meant this morning.
Oh, yes. I slept on the floor.
Tevin, is your brother gonna let you hang out with us after this?
From the sounds of it, it seems so. I believe he wants me to stay with you all for a little bit of time. For how long, I don't know, but he requested memories, and I will get them.
Did you have any other memories, Tevin, while we were there? I know that was the whole point of this excursion for you, was to find a memory, and did you happen to find one at the farmhouse?
I didn't find anything there, but I did have a little bit of one of those memories that changed from before, the one with the building.
What was different about this one?
Well, for one, a big change. There was a new addition. Part of the building was added on, and there was a big door to it. And a little device out front. It swang in the wind a little bit and made noise. And as I walked up to the front door, the handle actually turned this time, but it would not open.
There's another piece of the puzzle, at least. It's like you're adding one on every time.
I believe so, and I very much look forward to seeing more.
What triggered this memory?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. They all seem to come randomly.
Maybe it's your house.
My house? My house is with my brother. That looks much, much different.
Well, maybe it's your house from before you woke up.
How could I have a house if I was not born?
Like the Lenore that died. Or the me that was in prison.
If you say I own this house, why can I not enter it?
In the dreams that you're having, are you able to speak?
The very first dream I called out, so I believe so.
Maybe next time you have it, if you have it again. When you knock on the door, if it's still locked, call for someone that might be inside the house to let you in.
That is a wonderful idea. I will be sure to utilize it next time.
Maybe you'll hear someone call back and that might tell you something.
But who would answer?
There's only one way to find out. You look like you might need some rest if you were up all night, keeping watch over us. That was very good for you to do.
It is what I thought was best in the moment. I suppose as long as you all are here, maybe you can watch over Jackal and I.
That's doable.
I'm just gonna shimmy my way in the middle of everybody, where there's some room, and just get down onto my knees and sit back and go into sentry mode.
I might kind of like quiet down and like shift so that my body language is not I'm present in this room. It's very like shifted away, but I don't think I'm gonna fall asleep. I kind of like shift around and I like look like I'm gonna kind of like curl up a little, pause and turn back. Next time it's gonna be a better experience, Santos, I promise. My hand is out and it doesn't look like it's gonna go for a handshake or a fist bump or anything. It's just kind of like a gesture of, I hope that we're cool, but if not, you don't have to touch my hand.
I'll take your hand. I'll reciprocate that, but also sort of awkwardly because I'm not sure what kind of handshake we're doing, so I just awkwardly have your hand for a moment, and then I cover it with my other hand just to, like, reassure you a little more.
Squeeze your hand a little bit, then I'll, like, kind of turn away and just start, like, fiddling with my own hands and maybe, like, tinkering with, like, a part of my leg. It's very, like, now I have to do fidget toys to distract myself in the corner.
As Jack turns away, you hear a big snore from Mel, who's been out this entire time. And Jack, you settle in. Tevin's on the ground in his sentry mode, and this storm continues through the trip. It continues to echo off the roof until many hours later. Tevin, this is just about the time that you're going to be feeling rested. There's suddenly a clap of thunder that just shakes the coach a bit. Mel jolts awake. Tevin, this noise rouses you from your sentry mode.
We must be getting close. Stormbringers are out in full force. Must be stocking up the walls again after the other day.
And you all, save for Lenore, would know that when there is rainfall like this, or a storm of any kind, these Stormbringers gather together and use their magic to help lightning strike Twin Rivers. You know, there's this large building in the confluence which holds these reserves of lightning, and they call lightning downwards essentially into massive metallic rods that take the energy and store it within the building, and that's where they go to fill up their backpacks before taking it around the city for this defense. This storm is large enough where you start hearing every few minutes the crack of thunder. Each one is louder than the last as you continue to approach the walls of Twin Rivers. As it gets louder and louder, you begin to slow down as you hear the gate of the city opens ahead of you. During this time, you hear a lot of commotion outside as you approach the gates. You even notice that Mel looks confused by that as he begins to almost move towards the window but stops himself from opening it. Sounds like a bunch of different groups of people talking. In some cases, you hear arguing and yelling. You can hear a child crying that carries through the rain. Santos, you would know that this is weird. Normally, there wouldn't be groups of people outside the gates to the city.
I want to see if I could take a look. I mean, as a gate guard, does it look like families outside of the gate?
You do get a second to look outside, and you notice there is a decent group of people here. Right now, there are tents being set up outside the city. From this quick glance, maybe 2, maybe 3 dozen people, but you're not quite sure. And it looks like they have Nightshade caravans.
I know it's weird, but we can't worry about that right now. Nobody can know we're in here.
Okay, sorry. I don't know. It seems weird. I guess we'll figure out what's happening later.
Continue into the city, and those arguments and those cries start to fade as you continue through the city streets. One last big clap of lightning can be heard, and that whole city rumbles with its impact. And now that you guys are inside the city, you hear drunken cheering from just outside the coach. Many people use storm days as an excuse to go out and party. It's a celebration. It is the city being prepared to protect itself more. And you make it back to the Nightshade complex. You hear the rain stop hitting the top of the coach as it enters in this enclosed garage-type area that you first boarded in. Before the door opens, you guys took 2 bottles of wine and 2 jars of yeast Did you load them into the back of the truck and let Mel know they were there, or do you have them on you?
I have them on me. I was the last person to hold them and carry them. They're in my backpack. I believe I have both sets.
Mel hops up, opens the door as the coach comes to a complete stop. Safe and sound, as Mel exits the coach and gestures for the rest of you.
We each go out.
We did it!
One after another, you get out, able to stretch those legs from a long ride, and you see there's a decent amount of people here. Officer Darian is here with a few Nightshade guards. There are 2 officers here who are escorting a tabaxi man with wide eyes and thick glasses. His fur is a bit wild from the rain. He's got dark gray strips in his brown fur, though he doesn't look that old. The other Nightshade members are all wearing armor and their weapons are at their sides, but he doesn't have either. He's just wearing simple clothes and a leather tool belt with the Nightshade insignia embossed onto a pocket in this tool belt. Linnea is here amongst the lower level Nightshade guards. And as you all get out, Officer Darian pipes up as he sees you. Santos, made it back alive. Good to hear. Everyone, line up. Please search them for contraband. She begins with Santos. She moves behind you to check your bag and your back. As she does, you hear a whisper from her. She seems like she's trying to hide it. We have orders to arrest Lenore. As she pats your shoulder and moves on to Bjorg.
Oh, no.
While she is checking the others, Santos, what did you find?
Well, I step closer to Officer Darian. Well, I can say, sir, that we accomplished the mission. I don't know how to adequately speak to the abilities of the people that accompanied me here, but they proved themselves to be incredibly effective, and I'm looking at him very seriously. Every single one of them committed fully to the task at hand and delivered with flying colors. Especially Lenore. We would not have succeeded without her. She has no fear. And it's because of that, sir, that we were able to retrieve the meteor. Amongst other things that we would need to discuss in private. There's a lot out there to report on.
Santos, roll me insight.
Total of 16.
Officer Darian is breathing calmly, looking directly at you, listening to everything you say. But as you bring up Lenore and some more of what she's done, all of these great things that she was so helpful with, you see a slight eye twitch, and his eyes narrow just slightly. I will be needing a full report from you, Santos, in the morning, of course. But you were able to retrieve the object.
Upon mentioning the meteorite, I will repeat, but now more loudly, so that the rest of the Nightshade Company hears. Yes, sir, absolutely. Mission was accomplished. As I said, the meteorite is with us, all thanks to Lenore.
My eyes widen.
Bjorg salutes. I don't know why.
And I will keep it going, and I'll step back away from Darian, and I will turn to Linnea, and I will say, Linnea, the only other person that I've worked with before who, to me, I experienced the same kind of fearlessness. Lenore, your courage is unmatched. I say again, so that it's well understood, that without Lenore and Lenore's fearlessness, this mission would not have succeeded. It is Nightshade's keen eye in selecting exactly the people that are needed to accomplish the mission that has again and again caused us to succeed. And here we are again, proof of what Nightshade is capable of with their keen senses. The perfect team assembled to get the job done.
Jack hadn't been paying attention, but when he clocks what's happening, he's kind of like leans forward and is like, what? Like his face is just looking like, what are you doing? Doesn't say anything, but his face is just like very like, what's happening?
I turn to look at you if I catch that, and I just return a very, very serious look.
We found a bunch of crazy stuff. We basically uncovered a whole, murder mystery.
Santos, I'm going to ask you to roll me persuasion.
Oh, no.
This is not directed at Officer Darian. This is directed at the others in the building.
Okay. Total of 2.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I rolled a 3 minus 1.
As you are going through this, Officer Darren, he nods towards this Tabaxi man directly after you said you have gathered the meteorite. And you continue saying, all thanks to Lenore, and he continues looking at you and nodding. As this Tabaxi man, you see his eyes wide open, nods approvingly as he gestures to the officers, and they go to the back and they gather this mechanism. They walk over and load it into a small wagon, and you can see that these two officers, as well as this Tabaxi man, leave with this mechanism. As Darian looks at you, and he seems to look and scan for the other guards in the room. Santos, again, I will want a full report tomorrow. Thank you for saying such good things about Nightshade and the people we work with. We're very happy to have you as well as our other guards here. But please, we have other things to attend to. Just at that moment, Linnea is to Poppy, and she pulls out one of these wine bottles and a jar of yeast. Boss, is this normal?
We can explain. It's evidence from our excursion.
Yeah, like I said, we uncovered this whole crazy thing, and we can tell you all about it.
Tomorrow, like you said.
He nods to Linnea, and she grabs the two, she puts them back, and then comes for the last two.
I had just put it in my backpack and kind of forgot it was there. We had a long night.
Don't drink it.
Yeah, yeah, you guys can take it. It's no big deal. I was just holding it. I swear.
An oversight on my part, officer. I should have known as the representative of Nightshade to properly stow the things that we have brought back.
You have done wonders. Thank you, Santos, and the others. As for your payment, he gestures towards a bag one of these Nightshade guards is holding. This member begins moving towards you, but as he does, Darian butts in. Have Linnea give them their reward. For a job well done. Linnea moves over to grab this bag. She looks like she wasn't expecting this necessarily.
Oh.
You see she starts going down the line of you and begins counting gold into each of your hands. She starts with Bjork, hands you 48 more.
Can you just distribute mine among the others? I'm okay.
What? Why?
You know me, I don't need money. You guys will get me back.
I don't want to be in debt because you gave me your
You're
pay.
not in debt. It's if you wanted to. I don't need it. I don't want it.
All right.
And Linnea goes to you, Santos, shifts the bag towards your vision, and you see a pair of handcuffs are inside.
I stop her and I say, "Oh, I think you miscounted. I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure that we each get the right amount. Can you count it again?" And I'll lean in, put my hand on her shoulder, and give her 2 really tight squeezes, just to let her know I know something's up.
She steps backwards, and she continues down the line. When she gets to Lenore, you see she hesitates with her hand in the bag.
Hang on. Didn't you say we could be paid triple in night shillings?
I do recall.
Linnea smiles. She's turned away from Darian, but as you say that, Lenore, Linnea just cracks a smile, and she turns around towards Officer Darian slowly. I believe they said that? Officer Darian looks. Of course. Carmina said that herself.
Yeah. What can I spend those on?
Santos will tell you. Officer Darian moves over to a side room here. You can hear a key seems to go into a safe. Pulls out money. You can hear the little jingling. He puts it into a bag. He hands it to Linnea.
Wait. That brings something up that I think needs to be discussed. We've just come back. Are we all in accordance here? Is this the currency that you want? Do you all properly understand the value of the Nightshade currency? And I'm sure that we can each receive payment in Nightshade currency, but also perhaps even a mix, if that serves some of you better. Half and half. My companions are tired. We've accomplished the task. Perhaps allow them the night to think about how they might want to receive payment, since clearly there was an oversight, which we don't blame you for. But important part of the payment of what was communicated just was forgotten, which is understandable. But I feel it is my responsibility in charge of this group to communicate to them the value of the Nightshade currency.
Santos!
Pardon me.
He shoves the bag of night shillings into your chest, Santos. Give this to Lenore. If they want to exchange it tomorrow, they may.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow morning, my office. As he turns his heels, nods to the other Nightshade members, not Linnea, not you, the others, and begins walking out.
But didn't we do what you wanted? Why do you seem mad? We did the job. And we've got more info for you if you want it.
His pace only increases as you speak. He goes towards the open doorway and closes it.
I don't think we're gonna get another job.
Maybe it's for the best.
What's going on with him? Is this side of him always been there and we just didn't notice it before? I don't know what he's up to.
I only see this when he talks about her.
What are you guys whispering about?
Lenore, I'm sorry. Officer Darian wanted me to arrest you just then.
And she pulls the handcuffs out of the gold bag.
What?
You are not allowed within this city.
For what?
That is something that you should know.
She looks almost quizzical at you.
But it is because of the case against you. The warrant was just for you being in the city.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what else to say.
I did your job. I did it. I helped.
Linnea, Lenore doesn't remember anything about that. You're gonna have to spell it out to her. She truly doesn't have any memory of it.
That makes it worse. I don't know a lot. I know that you were in prison for some time. For being caught somewhere, you were let go because there was not enough evidence to keep you. And you kept saying that Officer Darian stole something from you when you were arrested. But no evidence with that was ever found. You then tried to break into Officer Darian's home, and he caught you, and that's when you were exiled from the city. There wasn't enough proof that we could keep you in the prison system, but Darian pulled some strings to at least get you exiled. Then Jackal brought you back in, and he's been trying to get you arrested ever since, for fear of you breaking into his home again.
Do you know what I said he stole?
One of the reasons there wasn't enough evidence is because you would not tell Nightshade exactly what it was. Just that it was incredibly important to you. And that it was dangerous if it got into the wrong hands.
Huh. Is he the wrong hands?
After today, I don't know anymore.
I'll lean into Linnea. Linnea, what about the others that are here? And I'll just kind of look around to the other members of Nightshade. Do they share your thoughts? Especially him. Is the tabaxi that you described earlier still here? Did he walk away?
He and the other two officers grabbed the mechanism, and they had a small enclosed wagon. They put it in and left the building.
What do the others think? Are the others... Do they share what Darian thinks?
He is an officer. They're going to believe him. There is paperwork that speaks of what happened, and she is exiled. Technically, her being here is illegal.
Right. Well, then, we can't have that to be used as ammo against her. Thank you, Linnea, for looking out.
We need to speak of many things. If you believe Lenore needs to be here, and with you, we can come up with something. Maybe we can get one of the patio to grant her presence here in the city. Nightshade and Darian would not go against them.
That would be a good start, for sure.
I can be very charming.
We should speak about the refugees outside the city, as well as I've been doing some more investigation in the days since you've been gone, and I think I found something about our missing person. Or failed missing person.
Okay. Well, what time of day is it right now? Is it night?
It is night.
Linnea, let me see what the others... they must be exhausted from what we've had to do. Let me allow them some time off and come find me. we should discuss this as soon as possible.
Yes, I only have the information I have, but we will meet in the morning.
Tonight, if that's possible.
I'll meet you at the Nars.
That sounds lovely. I'll be there soon. And as Linnea starts to walk away, I go immediately to the group, turn to you guys, and I say, follow me. We need a chat, but away from any prying ears. I'm going to lead them outside and maybe just kind of go into, even if the storm is still going on, I'm going to try to find an alley. Rain makes noise, noise makes cover. And I'll catch them up on what I know, on what they themselves already know, that Lenore was to be arrested for the charges that Linnea just described, that some of us are probably still aware of. We only have until tomorrow morning. Officer Darien will arrest you tomorrow morning, Lenore. You're not allowed here.
On what grounds?
On the charges that they just described. I know you don't remember.
They don't have proof.
I don't think they need proof at this point.
Then why didn't they arrest me before? Because they couldn't.
They exiled you. It's been a long journey. We should all get some rest, but we should meet bright and early before we are to meet Officer Darien. I think, Lenore, I think you should leave. I don't think you should be here. I don't think you should come with us to meet with him. You're already exiled. What's the worst that can happen? You honoring that is basically what's going to let you not get arrested.
Jackal is not even looking at anyone. He barely even entered the alleyway. He's been just kind of staring out into the street, rubbing his knuckles, not really paying attention.
Might I give a recommendation?
Please.
What if we hide her?
I'm small.
Not only that, Lenore, you do technically have papers to be within Twin Rivers.
Yeah.
They aren't aware of that, but it could be a possible rebuttal.
You're right.
If we would like to keep eyes away from her, she is welcome to stay at my home, as you call it, with my brother and I.
That's probably a safe spot, at least, and then if we get into a kerfuffle, you can bring up the papers. And if they try to exile you, just fly away and go back to Tevin's house.
It is large enough where we should be able to hide you fairly easily.
So I hide there. I stay there during the meeting. I don't even go.
Going to the meeting is a risk, but it might be the perfect place for you to present your the papers that you have, and maybe put an end to all this. But that's a risk.
I think that decision is left up to you.
Just run away if he says the papers are no good. And then you guys can meet me either at Tevin's house or outside the walls, and we can go see where Santos grew up, and we can go on adventures, and we can figure out why our hands were marked, and we can save the world.
That is one hell of a list.
Well, then I'm going to leave the rest of you. I'm going to meet with Linnea. She's got some other things that she needs to share with me. Any and all of you are welcome to come, if you would like, but I understand that you might need some rest or some time to yourself to tie up some other loose ends that you might have.
Bjorg holds up with 2 fingers a folded up piece of paper. I have a bookstore to find. Special delivery due tonight.
Linnea's nice. I'll go.
We should put you a little undercover then.
Anyone got a trench coat?
Not one that'll fit you.
But what if I fly, and then it just drapes under me?
I think people will see that you don't have feet.
It'll cover.
I'm going to take off my cloak, and I would like to cinch it up. I'm going to cast mending to sew it, basically, to make it shorter.
Hell yeah.
So it's the right size for Lenore.
Oh. Do I have to walk on my feet?
I think you should. We both will.
Okay. Hope it's not a long walk. These shoes are not very practical.
I'm sure you'll manage. I'm going to start to head in that direction, and I'm turn back and ask the others, if I needed to find you, let's say in an hour, where could I do that? Where will you be?
I'm gonna be, tied up. I have something I gotta take care of tonight. I'll probably have to find you in the morning.
I suppose if there's nowhere I am needed, I will be back home.
If this is smooth and it's just an easy transaction, I can't imagine me being at the bookstore for quite a while. So, someplace nice? In the riverfront, probably?
I'll look at Poppy and notice that she's remaining quiet. And I won't push it. Give everybody else a nod, and I'll start to head towards the tavern.
I'm wobbling on my platform shoes.
You guys both head towards the Nars. Tevin, you're heading back home for now.
Unless I'm needed somewhere else, yeah. I guess that's where I'll be going.
Bjorg, you're heading to As the Tree Falls. Jack, where are you headed?
I'm standing like near the entrance of the alleyway where I had been standing, and I kind of like finally noticed like I've rubbed the scabs that had formed on my knuckles. I've rubbed them like clean off, so now my knuckles are like bleeding again. And I shake that off, get my bearings. I'd probably head, I imagine, into the alley that we were in, given where we are. While walking, I'll pull out the bandage and like wrap that around my knuckles so that they're wrapped up again. And I start heading towards the location.
You head towards that building. The Nightshade Trading Company Dungeons. An ugly building with some thick stone walls. You enter right in the main door. You see there's a drow man sitting at a desk. This area's pretty small. It's basically a hallway that leads to the desk. And from this small circular room, it's only the desk here. There are 3 hallways that lead to doorways coming from it. He looks up at you as you enter, makes eye contact with you. Looks down at his desk and back at you a few times in quick succession. Without saying a word, he motions you to the left doorway. With just a flick of his wrist, you can hear the door unlock as he looks back down at something he was writing.
I barely broke stride as I walked in and head towards that door.
Continue to the doorway, open it, it's unlocked. You see another hallway leading to another one of these circular rooms with these hallway-like spokes coming from it. Though this hallway and these others are filled with doors, each one with a letter and a number combination next to it. This hallway is filled with B1 through B16. You walk through to the small central room before you take another spoke, head to another doorway. Each of these hallways looks exactly the same, except for the letters and numbers to each door. And they all have this same wheel-like structure. You walk into the center of one, there's 3 pathways. You take another. You move through the B's, then H's, then F's, then V's. It's a maze. And it would get disorienting if you didn't remember exactly which route you needed to go. Until you open the final doorway. This one leads to another hallway. But instead of a central circular room with more hallways, instead of more of this maze, it's just one long hallway that leads to a singular open door. This hallway is dark, easily 200 foot long. The only light comes from a single illuminated lighting fixture in the prison cell ahead of you. 200 feet away, just this light hanging above a single wooden chair. Next to the door on the sign, A17. It's a long walk through the hallway. You continue to move closer and closer until the shackles on the chair come into view. You enter the prison cell. It's just the wooden chair and the single light overhead.
I walk in, I sit down, and I snap the shackles onto wherever they're supposed to be. Ankles, hands, wherever.
You can no longer move more than a quarter inch this way or that way in any direction. You take a deep breath as the light goes out above you, and it is pitch black. And for today, that's a wrap.
What?
Thank you all so much for listening. Come join us next week for Behind the Scenes, where we're going to talk more than our characters did in the cart back. We're going to talk even more than that. So patreon.com/castparty to get access to that. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Hello, it is time to shout out our amazing Patreon supporters that are part of the Walk of Fame. We want to again thank you for all of your support, as it is what keeps Cast Party going. And this is a special one too, because it's almost time for our biannual one-shots ran by me. Starting in September, we're going to be playing some good old D&D together, so make sure you are checking your Patreon notifications and filling out the form to find the best day for you to play. We want to give huge shout-outs to A New Guy, Anne, Dragons, Dubward, Saint E-Love, Eric5, Forerunner, Heather, Isuik, Jesky Fire, Jonas, Kaylee, Lady Lorax, Lexi, Opti, Ryan, Bassdrop, Bubba, Ebab Flow, and Twisted Abyss. Thank you once again, and I cannot wait to play some D&D together.